quality always matters over quantity. Well, that's the same for studying, and it's important to study smart. It doesn't matter if you study 10 hours if you're studying in a way that's not effective. It's important to study smart so you don't get burnt out and you're still ahead of the game. So what is not studying smart? For example, highlighting the textbook, just reading notes, just writing notes. Now, let me actually get to the point and explain what is studying smart. Well, firstly, doing practice questions. This is essentially knowing what to expect for your test. So basically, you can get practice questions from either past papers if you're doing like an official exam. You can get that from the internet. Or you can get practice questions from ChatGPT. Basically, you paste in your notes in ChatGPT and you can be like, can you make practice questions based on my notes? I sometimes do this for my topics and it really helps me because practice questions, it makes your brain a lot. It makes your brain want to keep that information because it just, in a way, it just helps you stay alert and you're more likely to retain that information than if you were to write notes. Okay, now the next thing, in order to learn smart, is flashcards. Okay, well, it depends. It can be very counterproductive if you do not know how to use them properly. Basically, writing the flashcards should not be considered studying. That's just preparation for studying. Do not think that 3 hours of writing flashcards is studying. No, it's not. It's not probably that useful at all. Basically, you either have to not spend extra time preparing for your study sessions, meaning that you can't just do 3 hours of writing flashcards. You kind of have to find a time of your day where you can separate that from your study hours and have another time of the day where you can study. Basically, for example, you make flashcards in the morning and then in the evening you actually read them. But for me, I hate writing flashcards. They take too long and I just get tired from it. So what I do is use artificial intelligence, right? That saves so much time, meaning I have more free time, which is good for mental health, you know? So basically, some apps where you can just paste in your notes or even send a link of a YouTube video, it can make flashcards for you automatically. For me personally, I use Gizmo. Well, when I used to use TikTok, I found like a random TikTok about it. And honestly, it's like my lifesaver. I use it every day for basically almost all my subjects. Like, it has really carried me this exam season. So Gizmo, I sent in the link below, but for example, maybe Gizmo is not for everyone because, like, I guess you can paste in the notes, but sometimes it makes useless flashcards. But if it does that, then just delete the flashcard, it's easy. But if you don't like Gizmo, then you can also use Quizlet because, well, now Quizlet has updated its system, allowing you to make flashcards using artificial intelligence. Another app you can use to like automatically make your flashcards or whatever is with Feisty. But in my opinion, Gizmo is the best one, but you know, whatever suits you. Okay, the next thing which is quite important, which not many people do, I noticed, is understanding before learning and memorizing. Basically, before you read a textbook, before you start diving into your revision, you have to watch a YouTube video based on that topic, because you have to understand before you even memorize. But this is very important for top subjects like sciences. For example, you're gonna find it way more difficult to memorize something if you don't even know what's going on. So you have to watch a YouTube video to consolidate your knowledge and have a base of knowledge. So basically, it saves a lot of time than you think. It makes such a big difference. Now, there's this thing called the forgetting curve, right? Basically, it's like this hypothesis that after like 7 days from studying, you forget everything. Okay, this might be relatable. Do you remember what you did from your last test? Do you still remember what you learnt, what you studied from your last test? How many days later do you still remember the content since you completed the test? Most people would say no. For me, I forget about what I studied like 2 days later. So basically, this is about consistency. And this prevents cramming as well and prevents stress. So basically, you have to implement being consistent. Consistency reduces hours of studying in one day. So basically, a way to implement this forgetting curve, right, is to basically plan your study sessions in a way that you keep coming back to the content. For example, let's say I studied plant nutrition today, right? Well, the next day I want to look over it again, just in case. But then 2 days later, 2 days after tomorrow, I'm going to look at it again. And then 3 days after 2 days, I'm going to look at it again. And then a week later, I'm going to look at it again. Basically, essentially, you're allowing your brain to forget for a short period of time and then remember again by coming back to it. And then your mind realizes this is important information, so they keep this knowledge for a long period of time. This means you don't have to cram anything. You just have to stay consistent, and the knowledge is stuck in your brain. For me, I use a Google spreadsheet. Oh my gosh, a Google spreadsheet to try and do this. So basically, I have this Google spreadsheet that like automatically plans when is the next time you have to review your material. I sent it in the description. Just have a play around, and hopefully you can learn how to use it. If not, then probably make a video, but I think it's quite straightforward. No. The next thing I want you to do, right, is if you're feeling tired of studying at your desk, try changing your environment. Try studying outside. Try studying maybe in a different room. Try studying at a cafe. Try studying at a friend's house, but it depends if you can or not. There's so many different environments you can study. Try studying at a library if you have one near you. I feel like changing environments now and then is so helpful. For me, for example, I do art GCSES, and well, that is one of my least favourite subjects, and it's so mentally draining. So what I like to do is get away from my desk and go outside and just do it. Go to the beach and just do it, and I do get a lot done. Sometimes I like to study in the park. Just bring my study materials and just go to the park, sit on the grass, and it's nice. Sometimes changing environment is good. For me, I find it quite difficult to study in my bedroom. because my desk is my bedroom. So what I like to do is every morning I like to go to a cafe, and the people there are so nice, and well, I go there so many times that they can predict what I want. But anyways, changing environment is so important in order to focus. For example, I can only focus for like 20 minutes until I feel tired in my bedroom. However, when I'm in the cafe, I can focus for 2 hours straight and take a short break and then just be able to study even more. I can study for so long in a cafe. One time, I went there at like 9 a.m. I stayed there until it closed at 5 p.m. That's how crazy things can be. I think that's all. I hope I was somewhat useful. And yeah, remember, it doesn't matter if you if you can't study more than 3 hours. It's about how you're using those 3 hours effectively. Anyways, if you liked this video, then it would mean a lot if you liked it, and perhaps subscribe to me. But anyways, bye bye.